What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ryan Kostrowski. This is the DFS 5 pack. I got a lot to go through today. We're going to be talking overlay, DraftKings, drafters, a lot to talk about today. Obviously, during basketball and football season, just a lot of sports going. And for you college football nuts, another, big time of the year for everybody. So before we get into our DK picks, I want to go through two things. One, clearly it was on me. I was 100% wrong on Paul George last night. I really expected the Clippers to be more competitive in that game. I don't think he sniffed the floor over the last at least 14, 15 minutes of the game. So that was not what I expected to see coming. My question for the audience, and I'd love to hear people's opinions. That was a big game last night. Bucks versus Clippers, two of the better teams in the NBA. Clippers got steamrolled. What were your thoughts? Bucks better than you thought? Maybe the Clippers aren't as good as we thought? Or three, just don't care because it's only a regular season game and doesn't mean a damn thing. So let me know your thoughts on that. And before you get into your DK stuff, guys, don't forget to check out Overlay. If you're looking for the app that we're on right now, a buddy of mine, Michael, who's been a member forever since the very beginning, he was looking for it and he looked it up under Overlay DFS for his iPhone. It's under Overlay Fantasy Sports. You can find the app. The app is pretty slick. They continue to work on it. It continues to get better. I've been absolutely just pleased as punch to see a lot of you guys, tweeting out your scores and everything like that. Good to see some of you guys winning money. Daniel Allen, another longtime customer. I just started playing the other day. He's 9 times his buy-in multiple times already. So congratulations, Daniel. There's a lot to like about this website. It very much simplifies the process of DFS. The sweat is real as you're kind of waiting out these players as the nights progress. So it's very fun. I suggest everybody give it a whirl. Let's talk about TK though, because that's what we're here for, guys. So, uh, and I want to be very clear. I got cash game and PP guys today, specifically that I want to target in the two different formats. And we'll just go chronologically on how I have them listed. And we'll start with what I look at as a GPP play, which is Kelly Oubre Jr. of the Phoenix Suns. So, of all the games on the docket today, Houston Phoenix has got the highest total by a pretty good margin. It has the highest potential for major DFS scores. It's also, I believe, the biggest discrepancy in how Vegas expects this game to finish. So there are pluses and minuses to this one. We know the Rockets are a pretty good basketball team. They are the team, at home today, so they are more likely to give it to the Phoenix Suns than they are to take it. Doesn't mean it works out that way, but that is something to think about in kind of your back pocket. The other part about this one for Kelly Oubre is it's not my type of play. And what I mean by that is this guy is all over the board. However, there is for real upside right here if he plays well. One of the problems with Phoenix is Ricky Rubio, Devin Booker, Kelly Oubre, Saric. They got a collection of good players across the board. Only one potentially great player in Devin Booker, and we'll see if he ever gets there. So on any given day, like we've seen Kaminsky the last couple days play really well. We've seen Saric play really well at times. We've seen Oubre play really well at times. It's hard to know for sure who's going to have the hot hand that day. However, when Oubre does come to play, you can see he's a guy that's offered like massive GPP upside on several occasions, like on the 14th against Atlanta, the 19th against Sacramento, the 23rd against Minnesota, the 48 against Dallas, and the 29th. These are good spots. New Orleans, another good spot. He absolutely crushed it. So there's a lot of potential GPP value right there. The bad side of Kelly Oubre is major disappointments against Orlando, Washington, Denver. Against the Lakers, only 6.5 points is absolutely pathetic. So, taking a step back before you kind of break down why it's a good spot for him to succeed, you got to know what type of player he is in there. So, if you're somebody who is not risk adverse and you enjoy taking chances, he's a guy with real GPP upside today. High pace game. It's good for him. Younger player like this, too. Houston has been getting demolished by wing players all season long. They're right at the top of the league as far as DFS points allowed to the wing position. However, a lot of that doesn't mean something some days with Kelly Oubre. Some days he shows up, some days he doesn't. It's not always his fault when he doesn't show up. Sometimes he loses run for weird reasons. Sometimes the coach rides the hot hand on the bench. There is a collection of players on Phoenix that are pretty solid. Not a lot of great players, so it's not an established pecking order necessarily, but there's real GPP upside to be had right here. And if you like taking chances, this is a guy that at the end of the day, if he's 7X's off his salary, you're not going to be surprised by it. However, if he only does 3, you're not really surprised by that either. So know how you want to play him. This is a guy that for me, like on a given night, if I do a cash lineup and then like a 3 entry max in GPP, I might play him in 1, maybe 2 GPPs, depending on how he fits and how I end up attacking the slate later in the day, I guess is the best way to phrase it. Now, let's go to the opposite side. Let's talk about a cash game lock today, which is going to be Al Horford for me. By now, most of y'all know Joel Embiid will not be playing tonight. Uh, Al Horford, his three highest scoring point totals of the year have been in three of the four games with no Joel Embiid. Not a coincidence, right? He gets a much larger role within the offense. Easier to get rebounds as a big man when the guy there who averages double-digit rebounds isn't around. He becomes a little bit more of a playmaker. Horford is an excellent passer. Solid matchup tonight with the Cleveland Cavaliers, who give up good DFS points across the board. You don't worry about the blowout quite as much without Embiid in there. Of course, it's always possible. Philly's a very good home team, and Cleveland's not as good, and the tail end of a back-to-back. So that is a distinct possibility. Excuse me. Expect Horford to be popular tonight would be my early morning guess. He's a cash game lock for me. He has been very good this year without Embiid in the lineup. I think that's been 4 games he's played with no Embiid, and 3 of them have been amazing, and one little under what you would want out of him. That will happen from time to time. Not saying that couldn't happen tonight, but I'm definitely locking in Al Horford in my cash lineups. Expect him to be popular. Kind of the common sense approach right there. Next up, another guy that, again, you can use Clint Capella in GPPs. The center position is deep today. I'm actually really excited to talk out center on members only with Matt. I think there's at least 4 centers I'm real interested in. I ran a tweet poll today on this one if anybody wants to go vote. Capella is a guy that I love in cash lineups today. I mean, if you look through his game log, highly replicable, price tag is more than fair. This game has a high total, no Aaron Baines. So think about how much more athletic than he is than Frank Kaminsky down in the post. So he should be able to have his way today. Coming off a rough game against Toronto, it's not a surprise. Centers are not good against Toronto. I believe Toronto, hold on, I got my computer pulled up. What is it? Second lowest point totals allowed to centers from a DFS perspective this year. Meanwhile, Phoenix, who should be even worse, you would think, without Aaron Baines around, 4th highest total allowed to centers within the association. Expect Clint Capella to get right back up on the horse today. This guy has been excellent, highly replicable, very consistent day in and day out lately. He's a guy I have a solid production on Clint Capella. Now, let's go over to another center that I'm interested in today, but more from a GPP perspective, and that's Mitchell Robinson. So we saw this guy last year give out some monster DFS totals. He's a rebounding machine, a putback machine, a shot blocking machine, foul prone, to say the very, very least. Has not seen a ton of run in a lot of different occasions this season. His minutes are all over the board, which is something I personally hate. However, we got a new regime, I guess, in the New York Knicks. I don't know if we want to call it a regime right now, but they fired Fizdale about darn time, I think most people are saying. And I think I'm probably with a lot of you guys out there, like, what were they trying to accomplish in New York this year? Like, give guys a little bit more consistent run. Play your young guys. Like, you drafted Kevin Knox early last year, and now you don't even give him run, but you let Taj Gibson play consistently all the time. We know who Taj Gibson is. He's a solid NBA player. He could help out some contenders this year coming off the bench maybe, but the Knicks are so far away from being, with championship aspirations. Let's see what Mitchell Robinson can offer you. Let's see what we got right here. Let's see what Bobby Portis can offer you. Let's see what Kevin Knox can offer you. Maybe do you want to find out, I know he's been hurt for a while. Is Alfred Payton part of the future? Is Dennis Smith Jr. part of the future? There are a lot of Knicks that I'm interested in today. It is not a good matchup, but it's a get-up spot for them. Head coach gone. I'm intrigued, to say the very least, by Mitchell Robinson and a collection of other New York Knicks today. Now, do we know for sure what the coach is going to run for his rotation? No, we don't. We don't have any real idea. We can have guesses. We can have inklings. And the truth of the matter is the coach might have an idea of what he wants to go to do today. But, if Julius Randle or something like that is balling, he probably plays really good minutes. The Knicks need some wins. They've been embarrassed, just flat embarrassed lately. Lost by a combined 4,000 points over the last 2 games or something like that. So Robinson is a DFS stud when he gets the minutes and stays out of foul trouble. And the Pacers are really good against most positions DFS-wise, except the center position. So it's another reason why Mitchell Robinson is a little bit intriguing today. Again, I don't feel safe with Mitchell Robinson in my lineup today. I don't feel safe with it at all. For all I know, they play him 12 minutes today or don't play him at all. My guess is that there's a good opportunity for him to see higher run. And if this dude was in the starting lineup today, I couldn't run to him fast enough. Again, theories, guesses, don't know that for sure early in the morning. But there is some definite real intrigue here because he's been a fantasy disappointment this year. But a lot of that just really hasn't been his fault. I mean, look at some of these minute totals, 16, 8, 17, 13. And again, we've been seeing a little bit more of an extended run lately. It's easier when you're down by 400 points a lot of times, but I really like the idea of Mitchell Robinson today, especially within the GPP mode, because I just don't know for sure what his role will be under the new regime. So that's what we got today, guys. Appreciate the thumbs up for whoever wants to give it. We'll be talking overlay, drafters, football video came out yesterday. Appreciate all the support you guys give us. Sorry about Paul George last night. That was my bad. Hope I was happy to watch Milwaukee be up by 40, but very disappointed in the effort by the Clippers yesterday. Again, it's just a regular season game. Don't want to read too much into it, but as a big sports dork like this, I'm sure a lot of you other guys, I was really psyched for a good basketball game last night, and to not be able to see Giannis or Paul George or Kawhi for more than a minute in the fourth quarter was really a letdown. All right, guys, best of luck today. Let's go get some money.